Hello guys, Ryan Ho back with another video. The Lamzu Thorn is special because it's an ergonomic mouse that's medium size, that's lightweight, and it has 4K and optical switches. So really, a lot of mouses on the market are like the Death Adder V3 Pro. This one actually has 8K polling, but it's a very big, large mouse. Like you can see that when I put it on my hand, it's not only is it tall, but it's also my finger doesn't actually get that close to the front. So this is a mouse that's made for large hands. Now the Lamzu Thorn itself is actually more medium sized. As you can see, my hand actually gets a better grip overall, and it actually fits better in my hand because the mouse is not as tall, not as long either. So it just fits a lot better. But even more importantly, this is actually lighter too. This is at 51 grams. This was about 63, I believe. So this is a lightweight mouse. And it also has a 4K polling capability. So you also have the matching kind of orange dongle because this is the Fnatic version. So the Fnatic has, a brand deal with Lamzu to produce these. So I do like the orange color. It does stand out from the typical black and white mouses that you get on the market. And of course, I do actually have a Fnatic Jet, which is their mouse pad. So I guess you can say I'm a little bit of a Fnatic fanboy. Now, the other thing about this mouse is, of course, it has optical switches, so the left and right button. Optical switches are better than kind of mechanical because they don't double click. I've had an issue with this mouse over here that double click in the past, so I typically like optical switches more so I don't have to deal with that. So this one has that nice spammable switches, right? Now, the other thing this mouse has is a nice kind of scroll wheel that isn't too notchy, but also isn't too kind of fast moving. It's kind of in the middle. So it definitely moves very kind of fast and effortlessly, but you can kind of hear the little bit of the distinct notches, but it's kind of a faster type of mouse scroll wheel. And here's what it sounds like when you click it. Then we have the two side buttons right here. The side buttons definitely have a little bit more like post and pre-travel in comparison to, I guess, the Death Adder V3 Pro. This one is probably the best side buttons you'll ever get in a mouse. There's really just no travel. It's very easy, very spammable, and very tight. And the other thing I noticed as well as the Death Adder's kind of two, mouse one, mouse two, they're also a little tighter as well. It kind of has just a little bit more travel on the Lamzu. So overall, I do think the Razer is probably built a little bit nicer. However, it is worth noting that the Lamzu comes with a 4K dongle and it's $100 versus the Razer mouse is a lot more expensive at $165 just to get the mouse and the 4K or 8K dongle technically. So it's a lot more expensive mouse. So you would expect it to have a little bit better build quality, right? Now, the reason why I really like ergonomic mouses is because I find them more comfortable than these symmetrical mouses. The mouses on the market are symmetrical, which, our hands are not symmetrical, obviously, and ergonomic mouses are just shaped better to be more comfortable than these kind of symmetrical mouses. I always feel like my kind of side pinky and like my ring finger just don't know what to do with the mouse. They just feel a lot more comfortable on an ergonomic mouse. But my first mouse is also the Logitech G403. So, I really do have a soft spot for ergonomic mouses. But the G403 is also a big mouse, honestly. Like, yeah, I could use it, but it's definitely not, the best size for me. I could definitely use something a little smaller than the 403. But really, if I had to summarize the Fnatic Thorn, really, it is a lightweight, medium-sized ergonomic mouse that is something I was looking for because there's not really that many on the market that are ergonomic mouses that are high performance, but ones that weigh as light as this one as well. This one weighs only 51 grams, which is really, really light. It's lighter than even the Death Adder by a whole entire like 10 grams plus. So really, it does kind of stand out from the pack. And like I said, the color is also really, really nice. All right, so let's unbox the Lamzu Thorn Fnatic edition. So we got this Fnatic on the side. Then we open it up and support and download. It has these nice little windows that kind of open up. We have our dongle and mouse. I guess it kind of fell a little bit out. And then we have the mouse itself, which honestly looks amazing. The bottom is, well, it has holes in it, so you can get things under it. And then we have this nice pouch that comes with for your mouse. We got a cable that is a USB-C to a USB Type A. Got some stickers. Got some grip tape, it looks like. So we got some skates. We have the bottom enclosure, and then we got some more grip tape. And then you got some extra PTFE feet. All right, so we have the Lamzu Thorn software, so you can kind of set your different profiles. You can bind different keys. You can set your debounce time, which is 0 millisecond now, which is good. You can also change your different DPIs, your polling rate. So I like 4,000, obviously, but you get the least amount of battery with that. You actually have like, ripple control, angle snapping, and motion sync. I don't really like to have those on. I have default kind of LOD. So there's all the settings you can set. You can actually add macros as well. And moving on, you can actually update the firmware in the back. So how does it actually perform when you're playing in games, right? So personally, I find it very comfortable. I can actually game with this for long hours. The battery on this is also pretty good. I would say it probably lasts about 3 days with this. So it's kind of a pretty nice battery. The software that comes with it is also really nice, really easy to use. It was pretty much no problem for me to actually pair this onto my computer and get it started working, so that was nice to see. And when I actually jumped in game and played a lot of Valorant, it took me maybe 2 or 3 games to get used to this mouse, and after that I was just off to playing a lot and winning games. I actually got up to Ascendant 2 now, which is nice, but using combination of both this mouse and the Fnatic Thorn. So both these mouses have definitely been contributing to, I guess, overall easier performance. The Death Adder, honestly, I got to Ascendant 2 with it. I mean, I feel like mices in general don't matter that much if you're good at the game. But I just find these mouses just to be a little bit more easier to grip. I've always had an issue with, I guess, the coating of the Death Adder V3. It's not very grippy. There's no coating on it. So my hand would slide. And then because it's such a big mouse, I felt like I was grabbing the mouse differently every single time, and it affected kind of my consistency with the mouse. Versus this mouse, I feel like every time I grab it, it's pretty much the same kind of shape every single time. My hand doesn't really deviate that much, so I have the most consistent grip on this mouse, which I think leads to be a more consistent performance personally for me. So that's why I think it's kind of nice. Anyways, the bottom of this mouse is actually a little different, right? Because this is a lightweight mouse that doesn't have holes in it like the, Beast X right here. The Beast X is obviously a lighter mouse because it has these gigantic holes, versus this is a solid shell mouse. However, the bottom is actually not solid shell, so they save a little bit of weight by not closing the bottom, but you do get stickers inside that you could close the bottom with. However, the cool thing about this is the kind of feet are very unique on it, and there's a lot of different areas of contact. So I feel like when you're kind of gliding on a mouse pad, it does feel a little slower than something like my Beast X. But then again, my Beast X are using dot skates and it's a lighter mouse. This one just feels like it's a little heavier, so it moves just a little slower on the mouse pad. It also comes with switches on the bottom where you can turn on and off the mouse. So really my conclusion is, if you're looking for a kind of cool looking mouse, a lightweight mouse that has optical switches, which won't double count, really, the Fnatic Thorn is definitely something you should look at, because there really isn't many mouses that compete against this one. I feel like I did actually try at Micro Center recently the Pulsar X Lite V3. That mouse is actually pretty nice as well. That one has a different shape but similar size to this one. It has less kind of aggressive ergonomic kind of movement right here, which is the only thing I didn't like about this mouse, because it kind of, I guess it curves a lot inside, so my finger gets kind of lost in the groove, versus the Death Adder is a little straighter right here. You don't really have that issue, and the same with the Logitech G403. So this is probably a little too aggressive for me, which is probably the only part. But I would say the Pulsar X Lite V3 is definitely another shape that I really like as well. I might actually like that shape better just because of that groove. So definitely a mouse to also check out. But anyways, I hope this review was helpful for you guys. Please like and subscribe down below. Helps my videos out, and I'll see you guys in my next video.